Down by the starry curtains, my love and I did meet. She passed the starry curtains with lead.
And it has not moved ever since, okay? Now before we go on deck, there are two things I want to show you about the outside of the boat. Number one is the black and white design here along the side. Does anybody know what that design is for? The purpose? Any guess at all? It's fine. He'll come back for it probably. I'll just leave it here for him. Yeah, feel free to sit down if you'd like. You don't have to, but there are plenty of benches all around. Now, you see this kind of wooden block attached to the ceiling here? That would have been the height of the original ship. So yeah, that high. Not great. Now these beds that we see all around, these are real beds used by the real trainee sailors on board our replica. If you look in the corner there at that larger bunk bed, that is what they looked like on the original ship. You would put 10 adults in that bed, 5 in the top, 5 in the bottom. On a famine ship, 2 children count as 1 adult. You might put 20 children in that bed. 10 children in the top, 10 children in the bottom. Beds like that would line the whole way up the ship, the whole way down and down the middle, and they were collapsible as well. You could take them down. The ship would, come from Canada to Ireland carrying timber. They would take the timber off, they would build the beds. People would come on the ship, and would go back to Quebec. People off, beds down, timber off, rinse and repeat. They had that flexibility there. On other famine ships, the beds were not usually provided. People would have been on the floor for about 7 days. Now that brings us to a few other differences on board. Mainly, the people involved on board the ship. There are 3 people I want to talk about today. Number 1 is this guy on the wall facing me here, Nicholas Donovan. He was the owner of the ship. We don't have a creepy statue of him down here because he never actually made that voyage. He didn't need to go to America or anything like that. Donovan is what we would call nowadays humanitarian or a philanthropist. He truly did value human life. Donovan did the one thing no other ship owner had even attempted to do. He hired a doctor to be on board. Plain and simple as that, right? A doctor. In the corner over there, that is good man number 2, Dr. Richard Blenner-Hassett. Now, having a doctor on board a famine ship was very unusual. Dr. Blenner-Hassett worked here for half the pay you would have gotten anywhere else. He saved about 500 lives on board. Now, before anybody came on the ship, he would give them a checkup. If you were sick, you were not allowed on board. Harsh, but you can see already that's going to solve a lot of problems. Every day, he made sure every person went up on deck for fresh air. On other famine ships, passengers were not allowed on deck. They would be down here the entire voyage. But here they go up, they get to walk around. When they went up, the crew came down, they would clean the floor, take the blankets and shake them over the side of the boat to get rid of bugs or fleas that might spread typhus. Can you see how these very basic hygiene standards are going to add up to make it a much more sanitary environment? Now, there was the problem of food as well. On other famine ships, people had to bring their own food with them.
You don't see it.
Remember the Irish